very last time.
That, my friend, is condensation in action. Welcome!
Hello and welcome to the first video of Science in Action. Today we're going to talk about a topic that we can observe in our surroundings, and that is condensation. But before we can talk about condensation, let's first talk about another topic that's just as important, and that is the water cycle.
The water cycle is a natural cycle where water evaporates and condenses. We will have a little experiment here to demonstrate the topic.
So first, the sun heats up the water, which causes it to evaporate into water vapor and rise into the sky. This phase is called evaporation. After condensing into bigger and heavier water droplets, it will now condense into clouds, and it will now fall down to the ground as rain. After falling down to the ground, it will now go back to the local water source in the ecosystem by land runoff or back into the sky via photosynthesis, thus completing the cycle.
Well, the main role of condensation in the water cycle is the formation of clouds. Well, when water gets heated by the sun, hot air rises into the sky. Then, that is called evaporation, where a liquid turns into a gas. When also in this process, the cold air also goes down. So when there's an imbalance between the hot air and the cold air, going up and down, a typhoon forms. Well, a typhoon forms in bodies of water like the Pacific Ocean. Well, a typhoon happens when it's like too hot or when it's global warming because it becomes so hot and not very cold. They will then cycle and cycle until a typhoon forms.
So now we have recapped about the water cycle. So now let's move on to our topic, condensation. Right?
In our elementary years, we define condensation as the phase change from a gas state to a liquid state. We also know that evaporation is the opposite of condensation. But what more can we know of this?
Yes, Zai. So condensation is initiated by atomic or molecular clusters. This means that it happens when enough atoms stick together to become a liquid. From becoming a gas, just becoming gas to liquid. And there must be more factors that result in this.
And what are those?
The factors that result in this are just temperature. So when a warm gas touches a colder surface, condensation will happen. So let's take a can of Coca-Cola for example. If you take a can of Coca-Cola out of a fridge for a few minutes and let it rest, we will see that water droplets will start to form and condense on its surface. This is the product of condensation.
But what about the dew point?
The dew point is the point in time in about midnight to very early in the morning, where condensation happens naturally. An example of this product is when you walk through a field. You may notice that after walking through a field, your shoes may be wet. And this is the product of both condensation and the dew point.
So that's what it means.
However, everything is not purely beneficial. Some factors of condensation are having too much water droplets, which can cause dust mites and pests.
That's so serious. How can I avoid this happening at my home?
One factor you can do are installing adequate installation to rooms and repairing all problems as soon as possible.
Oh, now I know how to deal with these problems. Now I'll tell my parents about this to deal with this.
Remember, one of the main reasons why there are too much excessive products of condensation is global warming. Let us be aware of our surroundings. Let's contribute to making change to this planet. Again, this is Science in Action.
See you in our next video. Bye guys!